If you enjoy powerful cigars, stay tuned because Will and I are going to talk about our top 5, respectively, lists of the most powerful smokes that are on the tops of our list. So make sure you stay tuned. All that coming up next. This is a Security Weekly production. Havana Cigar Club, located in Warwick, Rhode Island, is a great place to enjoy a drink and a cigar. Stogie Geeks listeners can find a $5 off coupon on our website by clicking the HCC logo. Welcome, everyone, to Stogie Geeks Shorts. I'm your host, Paul Asadorian, broadcasting live from G-Unit Studios in Rhode Island. On the lines via Skype is Mr. Will Cooper. Welcome, Will.
Hey, Paul.
I am excited to talk about powerful smokes. And we're not just talking nicotine strength, right? These are full-bodied, powerful smokes. They get the whole package.
They could be the whole package, yeah. I mean, that whole, that 1-2 punch, so to speak. Yeah.
Now, as many of us know, I enjoy Connecticut's, but I also enjoy strong cigars as well, especially later in the day or in the evening time. So I'm very excited to talk about our top 5 list, and there's a little bit of overlap and several differences as well, and a new cigar that landed on both of our lists, which is interesting.
Absolutely, yeah. I know which one that is, yeah.
So why don't we start with your list?
Okay. So, and these are in no particular order, by the way. But I felt that mentioning this one first is significant, and that's Roma Craft's Neanderthal. The thing about that cigar, it was designed from day one to be a powerhouse. The secret that was done with that cigar by Skip Martin was the incorporation of Pennsylvania Ligero, and that was naturally higher in nicotine. So Skip was looking for a cigar that was full strength and full bodied, and he delivered it. And I know I've said this a few times. This is also a cigar you put it in the humidor, it ain't gonna lose its strength. 10 months of age, and it will be as strong as it was 10 months earlier. It's a fantastic, but it's got all that flavor. So it's not just sacrificing it's not just nicotine sacrificing flavor. It's got flavor.
Excellent. You got a Viaje on your list.
Yeah, and I'm going to say the Viaje Holiday blend as a line. We had Andre Farkas on the show last week on episode 192. We talked a little about Holiday blend, how it moved from a Nicaraguan puro to having a Brazilian wrapper. But regardless, that is still very much a cigar that kept the same profile. And it is a stronger Viaje than I think most people really... Everyone thinks Viaje Skull and Bones, and they're strong cigars. This holiday blend is a powerhouse, is what I'm going to tell people. And one of these cigars that doesn't lose the strength anymore. It's going to still have a lot of flavor on it, but it's one of those the strength you might just underestimate it, so to speak.
And a Christoph, I forgot about this one. That's a good choice.
Yeah, and I thought this one would be one we roll out, but this is also one of those cigars that gets forgotten about. It's the Christoph GC Signature Series, and Glenn's got several actually strong cigars.
Yeah. He does a good job with that.
If you put exactly, you put the Criollo Maduro, I'd put that one in there as well as an honorable mention, and the new Pissed Off as well. But the GC Signature is a strong cigar. You have it in that Churchill format. It is, a lot of people don't think Glen Case powerhouse cigars, but he's got several of them, and this one's as good as any there.
Absolutely. Well, and speaking of a company that doesn't have too many strong cigars, powerful smokes in their line is La Aurora.
Yeah, and this is one I remember when I smoked it. It's an offshoot of the La Aurora Preferitos Diamond called, and I know we've talked about.
Oh, I remember this one now.
Yeah, Chico's Choice.
That was really strong.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, and just so folks know, that is a 6x58 version of the Preferito Perfecto that they made in the broadleaf diamond blend. And I remember when I smoked it, and I'm like, this is a really, really strong cigar, maybe the strongest thing out of La Aurora. And then I remember when you had it, you kind of concurred with me. A couple people were doubting me a bit on that, but I'm like, this was a balls to the wall power cigar. I mean, it was one of those that kind of threw you for a loop if you didn't if you weren't ready,
Right.
and it was a big long smoke too, so it lasted a long time.
And to round out your list is a newer cigar to the market.
Yes. This one is from our friends at Saga Cigars, and it's the Saga Short Tails, a little 4x58, and I will call this a powerhouse. It is without a doubt right now. It's if right now it could be the strongest cigar I've had out of the Dominican Republic, and I'm talking in terms of nicotine right now.
And what I find too, Will, is it's not a deep, rich, chocolatey kind of profile to it. Like you mentioned the La Aurora Chico's Choice. That had a very dark, rich profile to it.
Hmm.
The Short Tails, to me, has a little more of an earthy component to it, but it's a little more crisp, but it packs in that power. I love the profile of that cigar, and I know they're a sponsor and all, but I really do encourage our listeners to go find this cigar and buy some because you're going to love this cigar.
Yeah, and especially if you are like a Neanderthal fan too, it's a
Yeah,
different flavor profile, but
different from yeah, yeah,
it's going to give you
exactly.
a lot of that real power. And they put a lot of high prime. It's called Tails of High Priming. There's a lot of high priming in there.
Mm.
But what they did is they used this Indonesian binder, and what it did is it smoothed out the combustion on this thing. So
Hmm.
I really haven't had too many combustion issues or burn issues with them.
No, I haven't either.
Wow, and see, Paul's saying he hasn't either. So there's some really, really good construction coming out of the Reyes factory right now. But I would encourage folks to get this cigar. I agree.
The first two on my list are ones that Will talked about. Of course, the Romacraft Neanderthal, and I like it in what is that size, Will? The HN, the
HN.
is the HN. Yeah, that
Yes.
perfecto-ish with the flat
Yep.
head on it. Yeah,
I'm with you on that one. I agree with that.
and of course the Saga Short Tails, which we talked about, which we have plenty to smoke here in the studio. Are we giving those away, or are we? Because I'm going to smoke
We have
them.
we have a Stogie Geeks actually contest going on with episode 192 for a 5-pack. So
Okay, good,
yep,
good.
yep.
601 La Bamba Warhead.
Good pick.
And this is a great smoke. We did this one on the show. I don't remember which episode when we interviewed the person,
Eric.
Eric Espinoza.
Uh-huh.
It must have been Eric Espinoza, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And he gave us some of these warheads to smoke on the show. And I tell you what, you can see me and Mark Jr. On camera smoking them. We're just like, what? And I think Stogie Santa was there too. And we're all really impressed with the cigar, and that stuck in my head. I really like, this is kind of a throwback for me. This cigar's been around forever. And we interviewed Rafael Nodal and talked about this line as well. Joya de Nicaragua, Antonio Dark Corojo.
You mean Juan Martinez?
Juan Martinez, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, we interviewed him
Actually,
too.
so the Dark Corojo is different than the 1970 though. So do you actually mean the Dark Corojo?
The Antonio Dark Corojo.
Okay, because there's also an Antonio 1970, which is very strong.
Right. No, this is the
Yep.
the dark Corojo.
Okay.
This one's been around forever. I remember Stogie Santa bringing some out in the back on a small, petite Corona size. All the sizes are great. I keep a pretty good stock of these. In fact, production man Mark and I were smoking these a couple of weeks ago.
So it's got the gold band on. It's kind of got the goldish
Yes,
band. Yeah,
yes.
and it's got That's a really good, and they're strong.
They
No
are.
question.
I mean,
They
they're
are.
still strong. Even with age on them, they're
Yeah.
still strong.
Yep, I agree.
And of course, one of my favorites from the Padron portfolio is that 80th 1926 Maduro Double Perfecto. That's a strong cigar too.
Yeah, I think there's something, looking at that Perfecto size and the way that tobacco's tapered in there. That's a really, really good pick. It's one you wouldn't expect on a list like that, but I'd agree when that's tapered, it's gonna be stronger than most of the 1926 line.
And one of the things about that Padron line in particular, that cigar, is I remember when I smoke them, I smoke it all the way down to the end. And oftentimes you don't do that with a powerful cigar, but this is one I can remember like sticking toothpicks in the end to smoke the final portion of this cigar. That's how good it is, and that's how well this cigar smokes. So they're expensive, but you can smoke it right down to the nub, which is awesome. I think that's
Yeah.
a quality of Padron cigars that you don't find in every manufacturer.
And with a Perfecto, when you can do that, that's even more of a testament.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a really amazing cigar.
Yep.
You can find all of the cigars that Will and I talked about on our Stogie's feed. StogieGeeks.com /Stogie. Does that work? Hold on. Before I say that.
You could
before I
just
say
click
this.
on Stogies on our front page.
You can go to stogiegeeks.com/stogies, and it takes you to our Stogies feed well. How about that?
Yep,
I
yep.
thought I remember doing that.
We have every cigar we've smoked on the show.
There's probably over 1,000 at this point. I haven't counted recently, but there's a
It's a
ton.
lot.
There's
There's a
ton.
lot. Yep, all sorts of good information out there and photos and stuff. So yeah, definitely check that out.
And what's interesting about the Stogies feed is Will and I talked about, the cigars that we thought were our favorites for powerful smokes. You can go read our reviews on each of them and kind of get multiple perspectives on a cigar, which is pretty unique. So
Exactly.
that concludes this edition of Stogie Geeks Shorts. Make sure you check out the Stogie Geeks live show, stogiegeeks.com/live every Monday, not Thursday, Monday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. As well, for all of the cigar news and reviews, visit cigar-coop.com. Thanks for watching. Not Thursday, Monday.